now, there has been this narrative that I want to debunk. And the narrative is this, that the Western Conference is wide open. That's what people tell me. Brilliant minds alike. Slick, you've told it to me. I've seen different people tell me the West is wide open. The West isn't wide open.
It's not?
Because the teams that are supposed to be great in the West, are they actually? The Nuggets. We really think the Nuggets are going to win 3 7-game series just to win the West. We think the Kings are really about to run through the West. The Grizzlies can't even keep their guys on the court for health reasons and extracurricular reasons. The Suns. You could convince me of the Suns. But Kevin Durant, I got to see him stay healthy and do it. I ain't seen him do it since he got hurt, Slick. So really, who owns the West? It's the Warriors. And they showed it to us again last night. Why? Steph Curry, 38, rallying from down 20. In the second half, the Warriors showed you exactly why they still own the West. And keep in mind, they are doing this without Andrew Wiggins, who was probably their second best player in the entirety of their championship playoff run just last year. So the West being wide open, it is just optimistic speaking. You know, we want to hear that everybody has a chance in life. Everybody gets a ribbon. Maybe the Kings can do it. I'll be honest. The Kings couldn't do it with Christie and Bibby and Jason Williams and Vlade D and Paige Stojakovic and Chris Webber and Mike. If they couldn't do it then, with all due respect, they ain't doing it now. So, Slick, I don't think the West is wide open. I think the West is the Warriors to lose. And if they lose it, they will lose it to the Suns.
Wow.
But what in the world do you think?
I'm saying that it's wide open, as I've told you before. And I'm not changing that because, yeah, you can point to the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, and the Kings, the top 3 teams, record-wise, in the conference, and say, well, what kind of playoff experience do they have?
Bingo.
But then you can look at the Warriors and the Suns, and I'll throw the Clippers in there, who have all that playoff experience. And you ask yourself, well, why are they struggling just to stay out of the play-in tournament? Are those teams that we've always looked at as dominant? Are they really that dominant? Do you know that Andrew Wiggins is going to be back in time for the playoffs? And are they a different team without Andrew Wiggins, in spite of what they did last night? Are the Clippers, can Paul George and Kawhi Leonard stay healthy? Can KD and Chris Paul, you've mentioned many times about Chris Paul's injury history and his ability to sustain his ability. So I believe that it is wide open because I can look at every single team in contention in the Western Conference and give you a reason why they're not going to fulfill their potential.
To say something is wide open, though, because let's be real, we say it's wide open, but to say it's wide open means this, Joy, because I saw you were vigorously nodding your head in agreement, which I did not like. To say something is wide open is to assume everybody realistically has a shot. But I don't think the Grizzlies, not even the Grizzlies, let's go with the Nuggets, and they're the 1 seed. I don't think the Nuggets are actually about to win an NBA championship. I don't think they're going to win the West. Like, I don't think the Clippers, with all due respect, if the Clippers haven't done it the last 3 years, I don't think the Clippers are realistically going to win it. The Mavericks, they've been the 6th seed, they've been the 10th seed, they're the 11th seed. The Pelicans, the Lakers, I love me some Lakers. I don't think these teams are realistically going to win. That's why it's not wide open. It sounds good any given Sunday, any given Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Like, it sounds good, but Joy, I'm not buying that all these teams can realistically win.
Well, we're just talking about winning the West. We're not talking about winning a championship.
True.
Because I think whoever wins the championship is coming out of the East, which we don't talk about the East a lot. All the attention's been on the West this season.
All the drama's been
on the West, I should say that, yes. I'm with Rick. You can poke a hole in anybody's case. The Dubs have had a real hard time winning on the road.
Tremendously hard time.
You got to do that to win playoff series. Every team has something to poke holes in. Kevin Durant, he's got to get out there and get healthy. We got to see how this is going to go. I agree that I really, if I've got to put my money somewhere, I'm going to go with the Suns or the Warriors, and I would lean towards the Suns. But yes, any of these teams. Okay, not any of them. I could make a case for them winning, and I could make a case for them losing. And to me, that is reflective of it being wide open.
But just because you can make a case 2-5, to me, don't mean something is legitimized. Because you can make, I'm with Joy. Yes, cases can be made. Like, cases can be made. But what Draymond Green said 2 weeks ago on the podcast, he said, I don't care about who wins games in March. He said that in response to losing to the Grizzlies. And he's right. Why? Because the Warriors are 18-0 in the Western Conference side of the playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
18-0. I'm not talking about 18 wins, no losses. I'm talking about series wins. 18 of them. If they go to the playoffs on the Western side, they get it done. So I don't think it's wide open, 2-5. You got to convince me.
Yeah, I don't think it's wide open either. I think it's out of two teams, right? I want to say the Suns, if Kevin Durant plays, if the gods out there playing, they're my favorites. And then I go with the Warriors. That's what I know best. That's what I know. I mean, it's what I've seen. They prove each year. Like last year, they proved it. Without KD, with KD, whoever it is, we gonna win. And they did that. Where everybody had Boston winning the championship, the Warriors came and they showed their true champion pedigree. Then I look at maybe if I had to pick one other team, maybe the Grizzlies, right? I think Ja's a difference maker. I think that team is really, really good without him. Yeah. Then you add him, he's phenomenal. He's lights out. So I think it's them three teams.
The idea that the Warriors it's theirs to lose is a little strong for me. But there is an element about the Warriors that if I was forced to choose a team, I would say the Warriors would be my pick. And it's an intangible thing, and it comes with being a champion. And there was a moment in the game against the Pelicans last night that brought it home for me. And it's what Steph Curry means to this team. Let's watch this. This is Jordan Poole hitting a three that basically takes this game out. That right there, that's the way we get this done. Steph Curry and that intuitive, that institutional knowledge of this is how we have to play and this is what we have to do to win games. The Warriors understand that better than anybody. There's no other team other in the Western Conference that can say, we've won a championship. We know what it takes to win a championship. And I, Steph Curry, as the leader of this team, know how to convey what we need to do to everybody else, and they're going to follow along. We know about all the problems that the Warriors have had this year. And yet, where are they at this point? What I saw last night, whether it was Jordan Poole driving and dishing to Draymond Green coming down the middle of the lane, there's no hesitation within them in terms of what they have to do to win. And that is such a powerful thing. That's why I don't think they're as talented as last year's team. I think there are more talented teams in the Western Conference, which is why they have the record that they have. But when it comes to what do we collectively need to do to win this game, there is no team that understands that. There's no player that understands that better than Steph Curry, and there's no team that understands that better than the Warriors.
And real quick, I just want to get this straight real quick. So you rocking with the Warriors, sounds like. You rocking with the Warriors, sounds like. Okay, cool, all right. Because before we talked about this, it was the punch in the face, I can't see this team. But now y'all rocking with my Warriors? Okay, cool.
Oh, you're Warriors. You were just Phoenix Suns.
I'm a Sixers fan, and I love the Warriors. Y'all know that. So I'm cool. We all hug each other. Now y'all, I like that. Okay, bet.
I rock with Steph Curry. Where Steph Curry goes, you know I go. I rock with Steph Curry heavy. I think it was that moment that Slick pointed out. But remember when Draymond was on the verge, after he kicked the dude in the face intentionally, incidentally, whatever the case happened.
Right.
And he was.
I knew he was going to bring that up.
And then Draymond was chopping. This was the moment that I realized, okay, I love the Warriors. Because Steve Kerr pulls him out, but it's what he does. He puts his hand around him, and then he's just laughing.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr's just laughing. I was like, I do not think that Jason Kidd would have done that same thing with Luka.
See,
and
Draymond.
that matters. I do not know of a coach who knows his team on the Western side as well as Steve Kerr knows his team. The Grizzlies are talented, but they've been talented. Let's not act like they weren't talented last year when the Warriors... So I can't buy the hype of the Grizzlies, Joy. I can't buy the hype of the Kings. I won't buy the hype of the Nuggets. Jokic has been an MVP the last 2 years. So show me something. Show me something, please.
Well, I think that's what it is all these other teams are in a show me space. Like, we've seen Phoenix go all the way recently. We know what the Warriors can do. Everyone else, it's kind of, other than the Lakers, it's kind of like, where is the championship DNA? And I know it's a very cliche thing to say, but the postseason is a different season. The games matter differently. You prepare differently. Your rotations change.
Correct.
So everything is different in the postseason. than it is in the regular season in this very, very long regular season.
And
so to me, it's everyone else has to show me, whereas the Suns and the Warriors have been there before. That said, I think there are enough talented teams, and this particular postseason may very much come down to who is available.
Right. Well, and once upon a time, the Warriors were the Grizzlies. The Warriors were the Denver Nuggets.
Long time ago.
Okay, 2004, 2014.
Something is until it isn't.
But they went up against the San Antonio Spurs, and they had to demonstrate we can overcome the champions. And they eventually did. So at some point, that's going to happen. The only question is
are we at that point? Are we at that point?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.